Hi, everyone. Thank you for coming to the Mud and Music Virtual Art Camp. And I'm really excited that you're here. I appreciate you participating. And we're going to start with my husband, Steve. He's partnering with me on this. And we're going to join Steve in his music studio. We're going to start with the music. So take it away, Steve.
All right, it's Acarena. Hey, how you doing? This is the Ocarina. Ocarina. It's not the Macarena, but let me tell you, this thing has been around for a long time, and this is what you're going to make with this project. It's pretty amazing. And by the way, I'm Steve, and I'm glad to be here to show you what this is all about. But first, let me tell you what the ocarina is all about. It's been around for a long time. It's round shaped flutes like this out of clay have been made for thousands of years from stone, from wood, even coconuts, and of course clay, which is what you're going to do. It is an ancient musical instrument that first appeared 1,200 years ago. That's a long time, 1,200 years ago. So historians tracked its origin to many different cultures in Central and South America. The Incas, the Aztecs, and the Mayas played clay ocarinas shaped like animals. And I think a lot of it had to do with maybe the sound of the animals. And I'll show you that in a little bit. Each ocarina has its own story to tell, whether made from porcelain, metal, plastic, or even clay. It's beautifully decorated, and with the beautiful sound, these vessel flutes were used in ancient cultures. Purposes of these instruments appear to be varied as their shape and sizes. So all kinds of musical instruments can be fashioned from clay, can be made from clay, with one of the simplest being the ocarina. Flutes, whistles, and ocarinas are known as air duct flutes as they come in many shapes and sizes. Their common characteristic is this air duct thing, and let me show you that right here. See that hole right there? That's called the air duct, and if you make that, you're going to make that out of there, and there's where the air comes in this hole right here. So the air, you blow into this, and the air comes out through this, and it has holes that you can use to make different tones, to make different notes. So that's common in that air duct assembly, which makes it easier for anyone to play because all you have to do is simply blow into it. You simply have to blow into it, and it you don't have to worry about positioning your mouth. All you need is to breathe in it just a little bit, and you got it going. It's a pretty amazing, and so it's a beautiful thing. What we have here is several holes. You can see the two holes there, and then there's two holes over here, and then there's two holes right here in the back. See those two holes? And this hole, right, like I said, that's where the air comes. So this is the air duct. And you can position your fingers on the ocarina to have different pitches. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to cover all the holes. Two, three, four, five, six holes on this one, and ocarinas can have several holes. So this is what it sounds like with all the holes covered. All right, it's a pure tone. If you don't cover the holes, you're not going to get much sound. See what it means? So it's the holes that make the air circulate and make different pitches, and that's a concept uh, that involves the air and the size of the bulb that it's shaped in. All right, so you can have different pitches with this, and these two at the bottom. These two at the bottom, you can make different sounds like this. this kind of a fun thing. And what's really neat about it is that if you think about it, and this was probably some of the reasons they made these, is to imitate some of the creatures in nature. For instance, if you live in Arizona, you've probably heard this sound before. That sounds like your pigeons. The pigeons and the mourning doves that wake up every morning, and they're everywhere in Arizona. So you've probably heard that sound before. So it could have been made for that reason. So anyway, I think you're going to have an amazing time making this out of clay. And look, you can decorate it any way you want. This one's decorated kind of neat. So you could really decorate this any way you want. And that's what makes it special, because this is your project. And there's going to be several more to come. So given that, here's some music. Once you get your ocarina done, you can play along with this. Come on. Here we go. Have some fun with it. So you can play any note. There's no wrong notes with this. So have fun with it. And I'm sure you're going to enjoy your project. Ocarina. Have fun, you guys.
Hi, welcome back. So I'm going to show you, just like if you were in my class, I'm going to demonstrate how to make an ocarina that you just learned about out of clay. So each one of you, when you come to our curbside pickup, you will get a tray. You'll pick up your tray that looks like this, and it'll have your name. This one has mine. It'll have your name. So you'll identify your tray. You'll take it home with you, and each tray is a little bit different depending on how many kids are in your family making ocarinas. So in this kit is for, actually it's for 2 people because it's got the bigger containers, but it only has 1 lump of clay. So each kit will have a lump of clay inside plastic, just like this. And it will also have instructions. It'll have a page for history. This page right here is for is like a kind of like a coloring page. It's basically to design your ocarina. If you like to draw ahead your design you're going to put on it, you don't have to, but if you like to, I provided this for you. This is the top and this is the bottom. You can see the hole on the bottom. There's also got some pictures on here, give you some ideas. And then the second page is the page that we're going to work on together. And I'm just going to follow the different steps I have on here. There are 8 steps, and I'm just going to follow them and just show you how to make an ocarina. So let me finish up really fast though. So you're going to have these underglazes in here, and then you'll have this purple bag that will have all your tools in there that you're going to need for making your ocarina. Okay? All right, so I'm going to put the tray down over here on the side. Let me get myself kind of situated. I'm having to make it up on, I'm on this tub thing because I need to be high enough for the video. So, okay. So, when you get your kit, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to unwrap your lump of clay. So I'm unwrapping it. And then you're going to use your plastic. I'm going to stretch it across this tub, but you would stretch it across your table. And so you're going to start with a lump of clay that's about this size, and we're going to turn it into an ocarina. So step 1, unwrap your lump of clay, open your plastic, put it on the surface of your table, pull off 2 small pieces of clay. So here's 1 piece, and here's 2. I want to make sure I have enough. So, okay, so that's good. I might grab a little bit more. Okay, so I'm going to put it like that. But the thing about clay is if you leave it out in the air, it'll dry. So you need to make sure that you take your plastic and you wrap it real good. Okay, so see how I'm covering it? Yours will be on your table. Okay. All right, so I have that wrapped up so it's not going to dry out, so it'll be still moist when it's time for me to use it. Okay, so the next thing you do is you're going to hit it. You're going to hit your clay. This is the fun part. You get to get all your aggressions out. You're going to hit it. And see how there's kind of some cracks right there? So I'm going to take my thumb and smooth it because I don't want there to be what they call air bubbles getting in there. So I'm kind of hitting it in the palms of my hand, and it makes it into a ball. See? So you got a ball. But now, if you can also put it on your table, and you can roll it a little bit if you want. And see, it made these kind of cool marks on there from the plastic. Okay, but I'm going to hit it into the ball. Make sure it doesn't have to be perfectly smooth. That's fine, because that's the beauty of clay. Okay, so we just did step number 1. Make it into a ball. We're not quite finished. Let me grab. Okay, your knife. Everybody's going to have a plastic knife. So now we have to have 2 halves. So I'll just put this down. And you're going to take your knife and you're going to cut your ball in half. Okay. There we go. Sticking to the plastic. Okay. All right. So it kind of made it a little weird shape. It kind of flattened it. Do you see that? So I'm going to kind of shape it again. And then I'm going to keep it in my hand, like in the palm of my hand like that. And I'm going to take my thumb, stick it in there. And then I'm going to use my thumb and my like the tips of my fingers. So it's going to go like that. I'm going to pinch the clay. So you can see me. Pinch and turn. And I'm just going to pinch it all the way around. I might end up making a big ocarina. We'll see. I might have too much clay, so I'm learning too. But it's okay if they're bigger, huh? They'll shrink. When they dry and get fired in the pottery kiln, they actually shrink. So you can see, so you want to keep holding it. And now I'm kind of smoothing it with my thumb. Can you see that? Smoothing it. And I'm going to make it so you can see that's probably about 1/3 of an inch. I'm going to thin it just a little bit more. And I keep smoothing it. And I'm making a bowl shape is what I'm making. Okay, so there's that one. So now I'm going to set it upside down so I can keep the curve, okay? All right, so here we go. So now I got to do the other side. So I kind of shaping it so it's a circle again. Okay, and I'm going to smooth it just a little bit to start because when I cut it, it made those kind of ridges. Okay, so now I'm going to take my thumb, stick it inside, and pinch. Some of you have probably made pinch pots before, maybe with me. Okay, so I'm going to pinch it around. There we go. And I'm going to keep pinching it until I don't have to use my thumb. I can use any fingers, whatever feels comfortable. But the idea is I'm trying to make it kind of even, but if it's not even, it's okay because even will make it with the word symmetrical. If it's not even, it'll be asymmetrical. So both are good. There's not a right or a wrong. And the beautiful thing about clay is that if you make a mistake, like if I punched my finger, like I'll show you, I'm going to punch, look it, I just punched my finger through the whole pot. I can just take it and smooth it back over. And I got see that? I just smoothed it right back over. Now it's a little thin there. I could pull my clay out, but I'm not going to do that right now. But I just want to show you. If you make a mistake, that's why you got this extra clay. I can take a little bit where I just poked it through. And I'm going to pinch the clay, make it kind of like a Band-Aid. And just smooth it. See how I just smoothed it right back on? And you never would know. Clay is what they call very forgiving. You can't really make a mistake. So that's the really nice part about it. And it feels good to work with it. Okay, but see how I unwrapped that? So now I have to wrap it back up because otherwise it'll get dry. Okay, so there we go. So I need to just fix mine. Now you can see my little hole down in there, but that's okay. That's where I'll put the part that you blow maybe. Okay, there we go. Hang on, sorry about that. I had to show you that. Now I've got to fix it. So I also am fixing it inside too. I just put a little patch to make it a little thicker. And that's how, so if you have any air, if you like break through like that, you just grab a little bit of that clay and stick it back in, okay? All right. So there, I have my bowls. They're made. Okay, moving on. What's my next step? I pinched the clay. Okay, we're all done with that. We have 2 bowls, 1, 2. Okay, now we're going to do what they call slip and score. So each one of you have been given these little containers that have what they call underglazes. These are underglazes. These are different than regular paint that you like acrylic paint or tempera paint. These are made specifically for clay and they only go with clay. And so you have to use these. It's not good to use acrylic paint on this pottery because I cannot fire it in my kiln. So you only want to use the underglazes that I give you. But for this right now, we're going to slip and score. And what that means is they also call underglazes slip. So I'm going to pick a color. You can pick any color that you have. The clay is going to fire like an off-white color. And so if you don't want to see it, we give you some white. You could use the white, but if you don't mind seeing it, then you can use any color you want. Okay, so step number 2, step number 3, we're on step number 3, slip and score. So you're going to take your brush that I gave you and you're going to paint it on there. Now you don't have to worry about painting it real good. You just want it to be kind of thick enough. The underglaze is acting like a glue right now. We're using it like a glue, not really a color. Later we're going to use it to paint colors, but right now we're using it like a glue. So you're going to paint both of the rims, the top. See, I'm painting the top of and see it's dripping in there. Nobody's going to see your inside, so it's fine. Okay, so it's all wet. You don't want to let it dry, okay? So you got to kind of do this one a little bit, not fast, but just don't wallow around. Oh, so, okay, so I painted it in, and now I'm taking my fork and I'm scoring. This is called scoring. Can you see how I'm making the marks? Yeah. See that? Okay, so I'm doing that one side, then you got to do the other side. Whatever you do to the one half, you have to do to the other half. Okay, and so this scoring is going to kind of make it all stick together with the underglaze. Okay, so I'm going to take my 2 halves, and now I forgot to measure, but look at that, they fit pretty good. I forgot to do that before I did this, but see how I'm kind of moving it around? Okay, so I got it to fit good. You should check yours before you paint it. Okay, so anyway, so there. See how it's kind of sticking? Now I'm kind of gently holding and I'm applying pressure and twisting just a little bit so it all kind of sticks really, really good. And like I'm taking my thumb and kind of working the 2 pieces. See, just gently. See that? You got to be gentle because it's soft and it'll collapse on you. Okay, so we got our 2 pieces together, right? Okay, so now I gave each one of you has a wooden tool. You can take your wooden tool and smooth the seam. Okay, and again, I'm actually, it looks like I'm doing a lot, but it's pretty light touch. And the seam's still there, but I'm going to show you. I'm just getting it so it's stuck a little bit better. And I'm smoothing the seam. So the idea is you don't want to see the seam. Okay, so I smooth the seam. There we go. It's all smooth. And then I'm going to put this over to the side so it doesn't spill. I don't need my fork right now anymore. I'm going to take this clay that I'm saving. And you can put your ocarina down if you want, but I'm just going to pinch this in my hand and I'm going to stick it onto. And then I'm going to take another piece. I'm going to put my ocarina down for a minute. And I'm going to pull off little pieces and I'm going to pinch them. See that? Kind of making little band-aids like we did earlier, right? That's what we're going to use it for. So I'm pinching it kind of thin. See how thin that is? And I'm going to make myself a little pile. So maybe make them a little bit elongated like this. Okay, see that? And there. Let me grab a couple more. And the whole idea is that you're just going to lay them over the crack. Okay, see where the crack is? And see how I overlap one on top of the other. And I'm just going to stick them all around. See how I overlapped it? Push it down. Overlap. Okay, so there, it's all patched up. Then you take your finger and you smooth it. Or you can take that wooden tool again that I gave you to use. Clean it off. That's kind of dirty. And see, it just smooths it all right up. See that? And you can smooth it. Okay, so I'm just about finished smoothing it. I tend to like to use my hand. Think of it like you have an egg that's really fragile in your hand. You don't want to do it on the table because it will cause too much pressure. So hold it in your hand. Yours will probably be a little smaller than this, so that'll be easier for you. Okay. All right, so now we have it ready. Okay, so now we are going to give it kind of a flat bottom. This one kind of has a flat bottom. So I'm going to go ahead and put it down, and I'm going to flatten the bottom. There. And I'm going to just let it sit there. So now I left this unwrapped, but you want to wrap it back up. Okay. So now we're step number 5. We're already, I skipped the number. Step number 4 is the mouthpiece that you see. And I have pictures on here. As you follow along with me, you'll see all the pictures. So, okay. So step number 4 is you want to grab a little bit for your mouthpiece. So I don't want my mouthpiece real big. So I am going to, you can follow the pictures. And basically what you do is you hit it on 4 sides. See that? You're just going to hit it and then you shape it. Okay? And I'm looking at the pictures to see how they have it shaped. Looks like it tapers a little bit. And I'm just doing this real fast. You can take your time and smooth it real nice. However you want to do it. But see how I made it kind of into like a cube type shape. Okay. Then you're going to take the half of a popsicle stick that I gave you. And you're going to take your popsicle stick. Actually, hang on one second. I think mine's too long. I don't like how long it is. Let me cut it for a minute. There we go. Use my knife and cut it. Okay, there we go. I like that better because I really don't want it to be too long and a little bit thinner. Okay, so now I'm going to take the square edge of the popsicle stick and I'm going to push it in, and I'm going to have you go ahead and just push it all the way through. There we go. And kind of make your opening that way. You can see. See how I pushed it all the way through? Okay, so now I'm going to figure out, okay, where do I want this on here? So I'm going to put it right here. So once again, we're going to do our slip and score. So I'm going to paint the slip on there, and I have it poking through. So hang on, I don't want it to poke through yet. And I'm just going to paint around the edge there. And I'm going to score it. Set it down there and score it. Set it right there. And then I'm going to stick it on. And then as you can see, I can kind of push the clay down and kind of mold it, but I'm leaving the stick in there. See that? Okay. And then, well, we'll talk about that in a minute. Okay. And I'm going to grab my stick again. I also have, you can also use your other tools like your spoon or your knife, but I'm just going to grab the wooden tool that I gave you. And see how I push the clay from up above to make the seam. See that? Or you can take the extra clay that you have and you can add it. You can do the little pinch band-aids again, which actually I think I want to do that because I don't want my, see, and I'm just adding it on there. See that? But I know that it's on there real good. Okay, so I'm actually going to push I just pushed the stick all the way through, so it's going through the actual large vessel part. Okay, there we go. Okay, so I put the band-aid, all the little pieces of clay around it. And now I kind of like it, I don't like it real, like a sharp edge there. So I see a little thin spot there. So I'm going to add a little more clay there. Okay. Anyway, so there we go. I'll work on that in a little bit. But I want to show you, okay, so I have the popsicle stick going all the way. You got to be careful. Don't let it fall inside, okay? And then you're going to just pull it right out, okay? And then you can take your popsicle stick, though. You can use it to kind of shape your hole if you want. Whoops, see, I just squeezed it together. You don't want that, so. There we go. Keep it open. Yep. You can always come back to it and work it. I just don't want to spend a lot of time working these because I want you guys to be able to do it. So, okay. So there's our hole, okay? So now, let's go back to, I flattened the bottom. I'm going to flatten the bottom some more. Now we're going to go on to our next step, which is we made the mouthpiece, and now we're going to make the underneath hole. So you're going to use the same one that, popsicle stick that you used to make the mouthpiece. So I'm going to flip it over. And I'm going to put my hole right there. And then I'm going to kind of make it at an angle. See how it made an angle right there? Yeah. And now you can kind of shape it if you want it to look perfect or more like the shape. There we go. Okay. There, so I kind of angled it because that's what they tell you to do. Okay. So we got an angle, and so now it's time to make the other holes. So I gave you different, and you're going to, so this is the bottom. Actually, while you have your bottom there, go ahead. Well, we'll wait on that. Okay. All right, so we're going to flip it over, and then you're going to I'm just going to put 4 holes in mine. I like the ones with 4 holes, but you can put 6 holes. It's up to you. Don't put like more than 6, I think, because if you remember, Stevie showed you have to be able to put your fingers over them. So you might want to just kind of hold it, and you could kind of, doesn't work to blow it. Okay. But you could go ahead and, I gave you different utensils. See how, like this one was colored pencil. This is like kind of like a poker that you use for art. And then I also have the square stick. So I think I'll do that one. Okay. And then see, it made a square. And then one more size. I'm going to use the back of my paintbrush. So you have a whole bunch of tools because the different sizes, like Steve said, will make different sounds. Okay. So there's that. Okay. So now, after you have your holes, basically your ocarina is finished. Okay. If you want to shape it into something, you can, but I'm just I like this shape. I'm going to work on it a little bit more once we're all done. But now, once you do that, you cover up my clay. Okay, so now it's time to paint it. So you could make this one day and then wrap it up in the plastic real good and paint it the next day, or you could just paint it right the same day. It's up to you because you have the whole week and you're doing it at home. So I would suggest, as you can see on this one was all white and then they put a design. So if you want to put a design that's going to go over the top of the color, you're going to want to use a lighter color for the whole thing. And then you can put your design. If you use a darker color, your design might not show up when it's all fired. Now, one thing I want to tell you about these underglazes, we used them to stick the pieces together. So now we're going to use them to paint. But the thing about these, because I was talking about how they're different than acrylic, when you're painting with acrylic, you can see the color, like I have some acrylic paint right here, and you can see this purple and that's the color it's going to look like. When you paint it on the canvas, it dries and it looks that color. With the underglaze, the color that you're going to paint is not anything like I have right here is a red color. And when I paint it on there, it doesn't look like the color it's going to look when it's finished. So I have these test tiles I want to show you that, I'm going to put my Ocarina down there. Okay, so these test tiles that I have, they show you what it's going to look like. So when it's all finished, it will look really red compared to, see, it's kind of like a dull red, right? So you can't go by the colors that you're painting. You just got to kind of guess. But just know that when it's fired with a glossy glaze on it, when it's all set and finished, see how glossy this is? And see how glossy this is? It'll look really red or really yellow, really bright. Here's a yellow one. Here's we gave it like, this is neon green. Those are some of the colors that you have. Neon blue. Okay, so just know that it's not going to look the right color when you're actually making it until it's all finished, dried and fired in the pottery kiln. Okay, all right. And so the other thing about these colors is if you want to mix them, like if you want an orange, you can mix red and yellow just like you would when you're painting with acrylic paint. So you can mix them to make a green or to make, you know, an orange, or make, I actually have a purple here, but blue and red you'd mix to make a purple. You can do that, okay? All right, so I'm going to go ahead. And then the other thing about this is this shows you, this is if you put one coat on, it'll look kind of more like a watercolor. 2 coats, 3 coats, and 4 coats. 4 coats is more opaque. Okay, there isn't a right or wrong. It's just depending what you're after. You can see on this, it looks like they did kind of lighter coat with the blue. It looks more like a watercolor, but the white was thick. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead. One more thing I want to show you is you can take, let's see, I have a spoon, right? So if I wanted to shape this, I don't have a lot of time, but I can kind of hit it a little bit to get the contour shape more that I'm looking for. See, it's starting to look a little better. And then I can also take my spoon and I can smooth out some of those cracks, see? See how, just real gently, everything's always very gently. Okay, but I can kind of hit it, just tap it. I'm not really hitting it, tapping it. And getting more of a nice line right there, a contour line. And I see it kind of bulges up there, so I want to kind of, so I'm going to kind of, I'm not going to do that right now, but that's what I would do if I wasn't showing you on a video. Okay, so I got to hurry up. Okay, so anyway, so here we go. So you're going to just dip your paint. I want to paint this all yellow. Okay, so I'm not going to paint the whole thing for the sake of time. Okay, so anyway, I painted 1 coat on there and you can kind of see the clay coming through. So you want to just let it sit and dry. You could like wad your plastic up and sit, kind of cradle it on there so it doesn't get flat where you don't want it. But you're just going to let, I only painted half, and then I'm probably going to put another couple coats on there. Okay, but I'm not going to do that right now. I'm going to show you my design that I decided I'm going to paint the whole thing yellow, and then I'm going to take all my different colors and I'm just going to splatter paint on it. That's what I'm going to do with mine. Just different colors. Because I just kind of like that look. And so anyway, so you can see. And then I could take, if I wanted to, like see how there's like kind of a lump of it here? I can kind of swirl it, do what I want with it. And if I carve into the color, the clay body comes back through. Remember, one thing that's really important, remember, put your name on it. So I'm going to put my name as a design on here. You got to put your name on it because we have over 40 kids, and adults actually. And so you want to put your name on it because otherwise you might not remember what your ocarina looks like. Might look different when it's all finished. Okay, so there's that. So basically you're going to paint it. You got to let it dry. You want to let it dry if you want to put several coats. And then once it's all dry, you're going to wrap it all back up real good in the plastic and put it in your tray, okay? And you leave it wrapped up. Don't leave it out to dry because if it dries too fast, it could crack, okay? So you're going to, once it's all finished, You're going to wrap it real good. You could paint one coat one day, paint more the next day, but always keep it wrapped. When it's all done, on the following Monday, June 8th, you're going to drop your ocarina off to me so I can finish drying it and firing it in my pottery kiln. And you will keep all your underglazes, keep all the tools, your brushes, keep everything. Wash them real good. Keep them for next week, June 8th, okay? Because then I don't have to keep giving you the supplies over and over. Just bring me your ocarina in the tray. Everything else you'll keep till we're all finished, okay? All right, so that's next week. And then next week we're going to make udu drums. So you'll drop off your ocarina and pick up your udu drum kit, okay? And then we'll do this all over again. Okay, thank you guys. Thanks for coming.